All right, let's get right into it. We need to talk about a huge mistake I see all the time, one that costs really talented people their dream jobs. And more importantly, we're going to talk about how you can fix it, like today.
So, does this sound familiar? You spend hours, maybe even days, getting ready. You've researched the company, you've thought through all the common questions, you feel like you've got this. But then, the moment the interviewer looks at you and says, "So tell me about a time when," your mind just goes completely blank. Here's the good news. You're not unprepared. You're just preparing the wrong way.
And yeah, that's it. That's the whole problem right there. It's not about a lack of effort. It's that the way most of us practice for interviews actually sets us up to fail when the pressure's on.
I call this the silent rehearsal trap. It's what happens when you run through all your answers, but you do it entirely inside your head. And look, I get it. It feels productive. Our brains love taking the easy way out. But honestly, it's one of the worst things you can do to get ready. I mean, think about it like this. An interview is a live performance. You would never expect an actor to go out on opening night and just crush it without ever having said their lines out loud, right? So why on earth would we expect that from ourselves in a super high-stakes interview?
The gap between these two things is just massive. When you're thinking about your answers, you're in this calm, totally controlled space with zero pressure. But a real interview, it's the exact opposite. It's high pressure, there's an audience of at least one, and you have to somehow turn those perfect, neat thoughts into actual spoken words, and you'll probably get interrupted. The two worlds could not be more different.
And the result of that huge difference? Well, it's usually a disaster. Your brain, which is so used to that easy, quiet practice inside your head, just panics. You forget your best points, you start fumbling over your words, and then that wave of nervousness hits and your confidence just goes right out the window. And once that happens, the interview can feel like it's over before it's even really begun. But of course, all this talk about interview practice is kind of useless if you can't even get in the room, right? Before you can impress a human being, you have to get past their robot gatekeepers first.
And this is the brutal, honest truth. A shocking 75% of resumes are flat out rejected by applicant tracking systems, the ATS bots, before a real person ever even sees them. Your amazing skills and experience could be getting thrown in the digital trash can just because of a tiny formatting mistake.
And that's exactly where a tool like today's sponsor, MobileCV.ai, becomes a total game changer. Instead of just guessing what format will make the robots happy, it builds your CV using professional LaTeX templates that are designed to get past those systems. Seriously, you can have a perfectly optimized CV in about a minute. And it even helps you write cover letters. It's the smartest way to make sure a real human actually sees your resume. And the best part? They give you 3 free credits to start. No credit card needed.
Okay, so your new resume landed you the interview. Awesome. Now, let's make sure you walk in there and absolutely nail it. We're going to use what I call the professional rehearsal method, and this is going to get you ready for anything.
But first, a really important warning. The goal here is not to memorize a script. Memorization is so fragile. It's like a house of cards. The second you get an unexpected follow-up question, and trust me, you always will, the whole thing comes crashing down. You'll freeze trying to find your place, and the interviewer will know something's off.
So here's the 3-step process instead. Number 1, and this is the most important part, rehearse your answers out loud. You have to actually say the words. Number 2, as you're speaking, visualize the interview room. Picture the person across from you, the desk, the whole setting. This helps your brain get comfortable before you're even there. And number 3, focus on the key ideas and bullet points of your stories, not a word-for-word script. This gives you so much more flexibility and helps you sound like a real, natural person.
So what's the real payoff here? Why does this work so much better? It's all about closing that huge gap between practicing and performing. You're not just thinking anymore, you're building the actual muscle memory in your brain to communicate clearly and calmly when it really counts.
When you finally walk into that interview, it won't feel like the first time you've ever said these things. Your brain's going to recognize the situation and just pull up the information smoothly. A tricky question won't throw you off, because you're not just reciting a script, you're talking about concepts you truly understand. That is where real, unshakable confidence comes from.
So let's make this happen. Don't just watch this and think, "Oh, that was interesting." I want you to pick one story, maybe your proudest achievement or how you dealt with a tough situation, and I want you to practice telling it out loud right now. Go on. What's the first story you're going to master?